Thank you guys for joining us again. So today what we will be making for you all is a very basic Caribbean dish of green bananas. We call them figs, and salted codfish. Okay, so this is our main ingredients, or raw ingredients, I'd like to say. And this is what the codfish looks like. And so we picked this up at the food tongue in Houston, Texas. And there are some alternates that are out there for those of you who do not have this actual product. It is called salted Polluck, and it can be found in your fish department at your regular stores. Okay, and this is the other raw product, and that's the green bananas. And we also picked this up at food tongue in Houston. And so it's basically just a banana, but it's green. And so this is also something that we in the Caribbean eat with lots of things. Instead of eating rice, we use the green bananas, and they're very tasty. So join us on this adventure.
That's a nice piece. Right now I'm just gonna put it to soak because there's a lot of salt in there, so I'm gonna put it to soak to get out some of the salt, and then we have to boil it. So we're gonna have you guys along with us as we go through the process of getting it prepared. So hang in there, we'll get back to you a little later.
So he's basically just washing out the fish, which is really basic, because it's basically, I don't know, marinated or dried in salt, so it's very salty. So you never want to just take this out of the package and eat it as is. You always want to wash it and boil it to remove any extra salt.
Okay, so here we are right now with the codfish, as we call it, the salted fish. So we're gonna start preparing our codfish to put to boil, to get it first boiled, to get some of the salt out. So we're just gonna put some water with it, the saltfish in the pot, and put it on the stove for a little bit. So here it is. That's it, looking like it wanna eat, but it's a bit too salty. So you don't want too much salt in there, so you have to boil it to preserve it, to get out some of the salt. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So just put in enough water to cover it up. At least the water cover the codfish, so you'll have enough to boil. So yeah, that's basically first step with the codfish. So then the stove.
Okay, in addition to the green bananas, he has decided to cook two other items, which is
This is called dashing back in the Caribbean, and sweet potato. So usually you only use fig and codfish, but you know, family dish, a little extension, make it a little more, so we add a little more provision, Caribbean provision. Okay, so previously we decided it was just fig and codfish, but since that's gonna be a family meal, so we decided to add two other provision from the Caribbean, which we call Malanga, as is dashing, we call it dashing in the Caribbean, and sweet potato. That's how we call it back home, but basically they call it Malanga Edo back here. So that's what we're going to be preparing today. So now I peel my provision. There it is, peel. My water is on the fire boiling with just a little salt, and a little bit of salt, not too much, to at least get in the provision. So I'm going to put my provision in here. Wash everything. Ready. So this shouldn't take too long to get ready, because seeing that the water is already boiling, it's going to happen in about 20 minutes. About 20 minutes the provision should be ready. So yeah, that's my provision on the fire right now. So I'm just gonna cover it up a bit. Let it do it thing. So here we are now with our codfish. It's already boiled. So right now I'm just going to shred it up, take out this bones and stuff, and put it here in this frying pan so that we can put it back on the fire to stir it up a bit with some oil and a little bit of green seasoning. So just gonna put the finishing touches on it. So basically shred it up, get up the bones and the skins, whatever it has, put it in the pot, season it up, and then put it to fry for about 8 minutes, and then it should be ready. The codfish, bone shredded up and everything. So right now, see, it's well boned and shredded up and stuff. So that's my seasoning. That's what I'm gonna put in it. Then I'm gonna put it on the stove and give it a little bit of oil to get it ready. So just also there's my provision boiling. It's basically almost ready. So just give it a few minutes to get it set. So I'm just gonna put my seasoning and stuff right here.
You have a little bit of parsley, onion, tomatoes, seasoned
Celery, seasoning pepper. So I'm just gonna put it on the stove right here. And this on. Oil. And let it get itself set. So in about 7 to 8 minutes it should be ready. So I'm just gonna let it stew up, get itself in order, let the seasoning get a good bit of heat and stuff so they can soften up as well. So that's basically finishing touch on it. So you just leave it, take it 7 to 8 minutes on the fire and stir properly. So now and then I'll pass the spoon in it to make sure it's everywhere cook properly. So that's basically it. So provision is almost ready. Codfish is almost ready. So next few minutes we should be eating.
Okay guys, so this is what the finished product looks like. This is the Malanga Edo, the green bananas or figs. Then we just have a side of lettuce, avocado, and tomatoes, and of course the star of the dish, which is the codfish. Let us know if you have any questions on this great dish, and you should try it out sometime soon.